Hey everyone, how are you? Ashley Amatzai here, the Psychic Life Coach with another amazing Thought Leader Thursday. I am so grateful that I have the opportunity to interview my amazing friend, Pamela Zimmer. She is a former architect of 13 years, a 6-time best-selling author, an international speaker, and she is known as your Self Care Concierge. Pamela helps you take care of you on every level so you can do what you were put on this planet to do. How beautiful and amazing is that? And today we are going to dive into who she is, what she does, why she does it, how it works, and stay tuned at the end because we have a special invite for all of you to an amazing event and also a little bit of a coupon code discount opportunity for $500 off of her upcoming retreat and a complimentary massage. Can I get an amen? Let's do this.
Yes.
And let's dive right in. Pamela, thank you so much for being here.
Ashley, I'm so honored to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, and I am, you guys know, Thought Leader Thursday, I wanted to create this channel so that way you guys have an opportunity to meet the best of the best. The thought leaders, the people, the movers and the shakers who are really committed to making this world a better place, to having this huge impact. And so I'm so glad that you guys are here. And with that, we're going to dive in. I'm going to share all my testimonials personally with Pamela, but let's share for you. I know, because you've changed my life in so many amazing ways. And one of the hardest things that I wanted to, I'm just going to start with that. Because I have so many good things to say. One of the hardest things that for me to overcome was public speaking. And like you guys, I would go into panic attacks. I actually saw a practitioner. It was kind of like hypnosis to support me in that. And Pamela ended up being my roommate for that event. And I was so nervous. And she was there to support me. The Self Care Concierge. Never have I ever experienced such a beautiful thing. She brought the diffuser. She's like, do you need a grounding hug? Here's your water. Like things that I never would have thought of, she did. And I didn't realize the value of why would you need a self-care concierge? Like, doesn't everyone have that? And then Pamela was there, and I was like, wow, she thinks of everything that I wouldn't have thought of, and that would have like been dragging myself through the dirt. So with that, how did you become the self-care concierge?
Oh gosh. Well, okay. I will, in the essence of time, condense the story down a little bit. So you mentioned I was an architect of 13 years. And that was what I wanted to do. I always wanted to have a career like my dad, be a stay-at-home mom like my mom. Wasn't married. I graduated school. I started my own architecture firm. I did the whole career thing. Met my husband, had kids, and then realized my heart was pulling on me to, okay, now it's really time for you to step into that calling of being a mom. And I really, really wanted to be that stay-at-home mom and everything that my mom was. She was there all the time. She was a nurse. So I think I have that nurturing. I mean, women.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Women have it just anyways, right? We're born with it. But my mom was a nurse. So I got firsthand experience of what it was like to care for people. And I wanted to be that completely. What I didn't anticipate was having postpartum depression. And that is really what just changed the trajectory of my path. It put me on this discovery of 6 years of struggle. And the thing that I learned most out of that period was how to take care of myself, what self-care was. And not just physically, but emotionally. I didn't really know who I was. I didn't know what my identity was. I always thought it was just, I'm an architect, right? And I didn't have to explain anything. You go somewhere and you say, yeah, I'm an architect. Great. Everyone knows what that is. So I didn't have to figure out, well, who is Pamela?
Right.
Like, who am I? And so going through that postpartum depression, one, it was like grief because I had given up my career. And it all worked out for the good because my husband had a job and you can read all about the story in one of my books. We'll just say that.
One of the best-selling books.
One of the best-selling books, Reclaim the Joy of Motherhood, How I Defeated Postpartum Depression. Took me 2 years to write the book, but well worth the read.
Yes.
So I learned what it was like to figure out who I was on every level, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. And then I just got put in front of these people who would ask me to speak. I'm like, what? I don't speak. I'm not a speaker. I'm just a mom. Just a mom. And so I started just stepping out in faith. I didn't really have a faith at that point in my life. but I just started stepping out and showing up for people when they asked. And I remember talking about my postpartum depression and people coming up to me afterwards saying, thank you so much. You changed my life.
Yes.
I'm so grateful to know that someone else went through it or was going through it and I'm not alone. Mm-hmm. And that was a huge, huge eye opener for me that, wow, there are so many people on this planet going through depression, whether it's postpartum depression or any kind of depression.
Right. In quiet desperation too.
Right.
Something we don't talk about. And
No.
you don't see a lot of times when people are in depression because they recede, like they recluse and they're just not on social media even. You kind of forget about them. Yeah.
Right. And that, for me, that was one of my biggest things. I was completely withdrawn. Mm-hmm. I had no communication, no relationship. I mean, the conversation in my house was, how are you doing today? I don't know. And like that was kind of it.
Yeah.
And of course there was guilt and shame and embarrassment and all of this. Well, it's my fault. Like, I asked to be happy and now I have these 2 beautiful boys and a loving husband at home who takes care of us. What's wrong with me? Why am I not happy? And so that was really hard. But writing my book was a very healing thing for me to do. And it's where I discovered this concept of self-care, which, you know, the first thing we think about when we hear the word self-care is, oh, go get a massage or go get your nails done or, you know, go take a spa day. And I like to let people know that self-care is not taking a spa day because you need a spa day, but it's taking a spa day because you deserve it, because you want it, because you plan it out. And you get to enjoy it for what it is. And it's so much more. I mean, I could talk for hours and days and weeks and months on self-care and what it is. And it's unique and it's individual for each and every one of us because we have different needs. But it really is getting to the core of who you are, what fills you up, what do you need to refuel yourself, what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, what do you need to do to, like the airlines say, put your oxygen mask on first so that you can take care of those that you were put on this planet to serve.
I love that so much. And I think like self-care has become a buzzword, but what does it really mean? And it's also a great point that some people are like, oh, I have to book out all of this time for self-care and all of this money to be able to go to the massage. And it doesn't have to be that way. So what are some of your daily or weekly self-care routines?
Yeah, I always tell people start small. It's unrealistic for someone who's not really doing any self-care to, okay, all of a sudden go take 8 hours for yourself. And you're like, what? You're crazy. I don't have 8 hours. Start small. And that means 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. I like to talk about this concept of bookending your day. So you start with yourself in the morning and you end with yourself at night. And whatever that looks like. So for me, I get up, I grab my coffee, I grab my blanket, the house is still dark. Or if there's a light, I move my eyes so it's not like in my eyes. And I sit and I read my Bible and I do my devotionals and I just have me time. And yes, the house is running around outside of my little space, but they know because I've trained them and I've told them that this benefits you. If you leave mommy alone for a few minutes, I'm going to be a better mom.
Right.
So sometimes all I have time for is 5-10 minutes. Sometimes I can sit there for 45 minutes and then I'm like, oh shoot, I got to take Brayden to school. I got to get up. So it's kind of whatever fits in my day, but I've also worked up to that.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, I always check my calendar before I go to bed. That's a huge, huge, huge tip because then you're not waking up first thing in the morning. Oh my God, what do I have to do today?
Yeah.
When you check your calendar the day or the night before, you can go to bed visualizing how successful you want your day to be the next day. And then you can have gratitude for the things that you have coming up. You can have gratitude for the things that you experienced earlier in the day. So it just alleviates this guesswork and this, I wonder what I have going on. You wake up calm and ready versus waking up in a state of, oh my God, the world is demanding this from me.
And that's self-care. And I bet some of you guys listening to that, you're like, really? Like planning my day so I'm not stressed out and I'm setting myself up for success? That's self-care. Absolutely. Absolutely. And share some of the things that I do because I take my self-care very seriously because if I'm not taking care of Me, I go bananas.
Yes.
Like I can tip the scale real easy with everything that I'm balancing right now. So I have to be really like conscious of that. And so some of the things that I do is like in the morning, I definitely will do, I have like my 3-step prayer. I talk about this all the time of the 3 things that I'm grateful for. What are my affirmations or my visualizations? And step 3 is God show me how. And just sitting there in that meditative space, and that is setting ourselves up for success. The other thing is I either do this in the morning or before bed. I will do like a self massage. I'll massage my hands to wake up. You know, like if you're doing it in the morning, you've been sleeping all night. Your body's resting. So I'll massage my hands, my wrists, my arms, like my feet, anything I can reach. I'll like do right here. And my body's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll do my best to do my own shoulders. So that's like another thing. Or shaving my legs. Man, it's like a love affair with my sheets.
Right?
Right? And I take showers before bed and I'm like,
hello.
Yeah. Or essential oils. I'll put that on. Like, put essential oils on. I shave my legs. And like those are things that you're including in your day that don't have to take a lot of time. It can take like less than a minute.
Yeah. And you bring up a good point too about the things that you do throughout your day. A lot of times, like you did mention calendar and schedule and all that, that's not self-care. It absolutely is self-care because one of the things I teach is this concept of transition time, where you have to allow yourself, we have to allow ourselves time to complete whatever it was that we were working on, kind of, pack that up, even if we're not finished with it. But mentally, we have to prepare for whatever's coming next. And this is especially important when we are multitasking, not doing 12 things at the same time, multitasking, but like day tasking, I guess. I don't know. I've never really talked about it in this way. So I'm making up words here. But when you go from mom to wife to CEO or entrepreneur, back to mom, back to client, back to
chef,
taxi driver, accountant, all of the roles that we play, we wear different hats. And men do too. But we have to allow ourselves time to transition and take one hat off and put the other one on. And that allows us also to be present. So if we just give ourselves, even if it's 60 seconds in the car before you get out to go to your appointment, you just take a deep breath and ground yourself. And then you're 100% present with whoever it is that you're with. Scheduling also allows you to know what you have coming up so that you're not constantly thinking, when I'm at work, I'm thinking about home, or when I'm at home, I'm thinking about work, because these 6 hours here, I'm working, or these 48 minutes, I'm working. And then I have a 12-minute drive where I can play music or just sit in the quiet. It's okay to be quiet. It's okay not to constantly have incoming noise in our brains. We live in a very noisy society. And then you know that you have 2 hours to be present with your kid or your husband or your spouse or your partner or the next client that you're working so hard to serve. So scheduling is absolutely self-care.
It's so good. And I hear some people, they're like, I don't like to plan my day. I don't like to be trapped in a box. And it's like, we need to rewire your mindset because that is going to make you, so you're exactly everything we just talked about. You're not as stressed. You're more prepared. You'll feel less guilty for things getting away from you. And you're going to feel accomplished because when you put your head on the pillow at night, you're like, I did it.
Yes.
I did it.
Yes.
So I just want to encourage you guys there because I've heard some people with their resistance. So Pamela, you have so much knowledge and a lot of experience, obviously, like international speaker, retreat facilitator, writing all these amazing best-selling books. So what is it like to work with you? So if somebody wanted to work with you, what would that look like?
Yeah. Well, I work with people in various different ways. I have one-on-one high-end coaching, and those are for people who really want to dive in and get intensive, like I'm ready to take my life to the next level and I need help and coaching and accountability. So it's private one-on-one work. I also have, I like to call them self-care planning calls, and it's just laser focused weekly touch-ins where we talk about the accountability of your self-care. This isn't the accountability of, did you call your 20 people today? Did you close that client? Did you get that report done? This is your self-care accountability because I know that when you put yourself first, the productivity, the efficiency, it's all going to come. The relationship improvement is going to happen. Your business is going to grow when you put yourself first. So that's how people can work with me one-on-one.
So important.
And I have retreats, and I speak all over, and I have Facebook groups. So, there's different levels of access to me, if you will. But I love seeing people make progress in their self-care, because I know it translates over into every single area of their life.
Yeah, and if you think about that, who holds you accountable to your self-care? Like, no one. Like, in my life, like, no one cares if I shave my legs. Like, my husband's amazing, but he doesn't care.
Right. Mine neither. He's like, I don't care.
He's like, I didn't notice. Which is funny, but like, who is there to hold us accountable? Like, no one aside from ourselves. And I think that's what's so important about having a coach and having that accountability, because it's so true. When we take care of ourselves first, then we can be like this strong warrior princess, or if you're a male, you can be that warrior king. Yeah, whatever you want to be. I think very Disney.
Yeah.
Elena Vavilor. So whatever that is for you, but I think that's so valuable. And my personal experience that I shared in the beginning working with Pamela is it made me so much more aware of, wow, when I am taking care of myself, the small things like making sure that I'm drinking water, having the essential oils and the soft music to fall asleep to, it makes my experience on this planet better. I wake up feeling better and more rejuvenated because we're being so soft and gentle. And I just had a vision of like a little baby, right? Like when a baby goes to sleep, we love and we hold them. If they cry, we don't say, stop. Yeah, I mean, sometimes we want to, right? It's okay. But we love and we hold them and we pass them back and forth and we play the music and we sing them Sweet, Sweet Nightingale.
You soothe them.
Right? And as adults, no, we just like wake up and go. We got to go to the gym and we got to do this and that and that. And it's just something that's it's a part of us naturally intuitive we give to the parts of ourselves that we love, like our children, but we don't do it for ourselves. And so like sit on that, like ruminate on that for a minute. Like, why not? My aunt once told me, she's like, my two little cousins are like my firstborn. And she's like, Ashley, you need to treat yourself like you treat your cousins. You need to take care of yourself like you do them. Because they always went to bed with a story, a teeth brush, balanced meals, all the things. And for myself, I would just like, oh, I need to eat? Yeah. Crazy. And I'd just like be on my phone.
There's a granola bar.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it just, why do we do that? And are you guys guilty of that? I don't like that word.
Yes.
Yeah?
I've experienced that. I've experienced that. And that's one of the things that just gets me fired up, because I see these people who, they pour everything into other people around them for good cause, because we love them, right? But we can also show people that we love them by taking care of ourselves, so that we give people the best of us, not the rest of us.
The best of us, not the rest of us. Can you share about that permission to pause? So good.
Yes. So I have this word permission, which is kind of, it encircles everything I do. My retreat's called Permission to Be. I have this permission pinwheel. Everything I teach is based on the foundation of permission. And so there's a concept called permission to pause. And that is giving yourself permission to kind of like tap out without having to explain, without having to give an excuse. So, okay, for example, we were at this leadership women's retreat in Tahoe, where we got to room together. Yeah. And it's a lot of information. If you've ever been to a retreat or a conference and it's just constant, you're getting information thrown at you, and it takes a lot of energy and emotional energy too to process that. And sometimes we need to go process away from people. And it doesn't mean that we're being rude. It doesn't mean that we don't like the person we're talking to. It just means, hey, permission to pause. I need to go take care of me so I can come back and be present with you, whatever that looks like. You can use it with your kids. You can use it with your spouse. You can use it with, you can even use it with yourself. That's something that just came to me. Like, you can use it with yourself when you know that you're feeling frazzled or stressed or overwhelmed. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have clarity. Okay, Pamela, I'm going to give myself permission to pause, and I'm going to go sit and pray or go for a walk outside, change my scenery, change the environment, do something different so that I can get that clarity and come back to whatever it is that I was working on and needed a pause from.
So good. And when I first heard her speak this on stage, permission to pause, it was like the clouds opened and I saw the sunshine, and I was like, this is the nicest way to tell people, stop. And this also goes with my husband. My husband, like, I just love him so much. And I'm trying to like concentrate on something before my daughter wakes up or whatever, and he's trying to talk to me, and it's like, how do you nicely say,
right.
I cannot focus on you right now because I'm doing this. And so instead, I've been implementing,
awesome,
honey, permission to pause real quick so I can focus on this and then I can focus on you. And he's like, yeah, no problem. Same with my daughter. Mommy, 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 mommy. And all I want to do is like, what is it, honey? Like, what is it? Tell me. And how do we say it nicely? How do we create this like beautiful bridge of communication as opposed to like, stop, I can't take this right now, right? Instead, honey bunny, permission to pause. And she's like, okay. Like, I'm a better person.
Right.
Because I have better communication tools because of Pamela.
Yay. Oh, yes. I love
and
it.
I say it and I mean it. So, like, these are just a few of the wisdom drops that you guys are getting today. And there is so much more. So, beautiful segue into what are the interesting things that you have coming up in your business?
Yes. Well, the most interesting thing that I'm most excited about, I feel like this is sort of the culmination of everything that I've been learning in my career and teaching others, is this beautiful retreat that I have coming up in Mexico in, a little over a month now. It's February 15th to the 22nd. It's a retreat called Permission to Be.
Oh, so good. Oh,
Can I
yeah.
show that?
Look
Like,
how beautiful this flyer. You
look
should
at
zoom
this.
it in. It's so gorgeous. So pretty.
Yes. These are the buildings, like these are the rooms where we get to sleep. And we can sleep with our windows open and just fall asleep to the sound of the ocean, lulling us in our beautiful king-size bed all to ourselves.
I love that.
It's a 7-night all-inclusive retreat, and we are going to talk about finding your inner peace. And that is, it all starts with permission.
Right.
You know? So
to be.
Because permission to be, and it's permission to just be yourself, permission to be there and not somewhere else, permission to be who it is that God made you to be, permission to dream big, permission to go after your dreams, permission to claim them out loud, permission to rest.
Preach it.
Permission to rest, permission to only have to focus on yourself. No kids. I love them.
And we
Yes.
didn't break it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine 7 days
7
of
days.
fully going inward and fully just sitting in your own presence and being, and really setting the intention that you don't have to be anywhere else? Like, that would be magical.
Such a gift.
I know that, truly, I mean, that's
Such
the
a
best way to
gift.
put it. It's a gift. And like, I remember when I was in college, for example, if you guys are in school, I was like, I can't enjoy my time with my friends because I should be studying. I should be, re-listening to that video. And even in my work now, right? I'm like, oh, I should be doing
your mind
this.
is always on the next thing.
Why do we shit on ourselves?
Yeah.
And I just think this retreat is such a beautiful opportunity to just sit and be, and maybe for you, experience what it is to be fully in your body for the first time. For 7 days, supported by the best people ever. And it's all inclusive, so like it totally removes the stress of that, right?
Yeah. And it truly is that. It's permission to really find out who you are. In the beginning I mentioned that I didn't know my identity. And how can I possibly take care of myself if I don't know who I am and what I need and what my body and my soul desires at such a core level? And so this is an opportunity. It's permission for you to really figure out, who am I? What do I want in life? What do I need day to day? And let's start making a plan so that you can make that happen. So when you return home, you're in this state of, okay, permission to pause. Think of this as 7 days of permission to pause. And life still goes on without you, yes. And I understand it's hard to get away, especially if you have kids, especially if you have responsibilities. But there's no better gift to give yourself than knowing who you are, so that you can take care of yourself on the deepest level and serve when you come back home at the highest level.
That is so good, and it feels so good. And a lot of time, like, this might take a left turn, but something that's popping up, so I just like always trust that it will. I was talking with a client yesterday, and I was like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So for example, if someone's like, oh yeah, I had pizza, versus Oh, I had pizza! Right? It doesn't matter what you say, it's how you say it. And what determines person A of like, I had pizza versus I had pizza? What's the difference between these two people? The person A is like probably insecure and like not really sure of who they are and who they be and what they stand for. The other person's like, hell yeah, I made a conscious choice and I'm feeling really confident right now. I had some pizza. And so could you imagine living your life like this after you come back, and like what does it take to get there? It takes something like an opportunity such as this retreat to really step into that and fully embody who you are to where that's how you live your life. You don't have that doubt anymore. You don't have that like, who, you know, all of those things that kind of like chip us away. We're unavailable for that. That's why we create these opportunities. It makes me so happy. And we have another really cool event coming up. You guys are in the local Reno area.
So one of the other things that I'm so passionate about is self-care from the inside out. And one of the ways that I have found to do that is through custom DNA nutrition. And so I have an event that I'm co-hosting with a dear, dear friend of mine on January 23rd, and it's called Swab for the Cause. And the cause, you guys, is health. The cause is your health and your health from the inside out. So it's a free event. It's sort of a party, learn about what this whole new concept of DNA nutrition is. It's on the 23rd at the Discovery Museum, 7 to 9 p.m.
That is so amazing. And we can show them this too. I think it's super cool. Look at this beautiful little flyer.
There's a
here.
glare, so I don't know if you can see.
She's like such a celebrity. I call you my celebrity friend. She's like so, look at how like gorgeous. She's like on this like perfect branding. And yeah, I want to second that too. I will be at this event. Again, if you guys are in the Reno area, and it is really important. I talk a lot about holistic nutrition. That's where it all started. My entire life changed when I started to take my health seriously. And I decided to eat clean and hormonally balanced and just use products that don't have toxins in them. Everything changed. From my acne to I was on 4 to 5 different medications. I'm off of all of them now because I made health my priority. So I fully support Pamela and her business and everything that she has to offer. And so I would love to reserve a seat for you at that event.
Awesome.
So how can people reach out to you?
I am on Facebook, Pamela Zimmer. I'm on Instagram, Pamela K. Zimmer. Email Pamela at Pamela Zimmer. If you want to know more about the retreat, you can go to the website permissiontobe.me and just say that. Like, even if you don't go there, just say it. Permissiontobe.me. I have permission to be me, right? Permissiontobe.me. If you want to know more about the DNA nutrition, you can text the word euphoria, UFORIA, to 33777.
Awesome. So good. Oh, and also, thanks for staying to the end, because we have on the table for you guys, if you discovered Pamela from this video, please let us know. All of my information is going to be below. All of Pamela's information is below. But you guys let us know that you saw it through this video. Maybe drop the link and sending it a message to one of us, and you get $500 off of this amazing retreat. $500.
And a complimentary massage while you're there.
In Mexico! What? Could you guys imagine? Again, permission to be. I love that so much. Thank you for offering, all of this wisdom to my people, our beautiful community, and also amazing events like this, because you truly are a thought. I'm gonna make myself emotional. You truly are a thought leader, and I'm so grateful that I have her influence, and now you guys too. And there are opportunities for us to come together, permission to be, to have impact for the cause, for ourselves and for others and beyond. I'm so grateful.
Thank you. I love you. Thank you.
I love you.
Okay.
And we love you guys so much.
And remember, self-care isn't selfish, it's essential.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. That's so good. As always, wishing you an amazing day full of all the amazing things, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye. All right, see you.